Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum to the Muslims out there. This is a response to Helios Fear's video, which was entitled Addressing the Personal Comments. Okay? So what I want to say, let me start off by saying that Helios Fear, I'm willing to extend the same hand to you that you extended in the video, that you were willing to tone down your anti-Islamic stance. So that be the case, I'm willing to concede the same thing, and we can both agree to disagree, but we can tone down the animosity, in the whole situation. I'm willing to do that as well. And let me say that right there, that's the teaching of Islam. In chapter 8, verse 61, it says that if your enemy inclines to peace, that you should also incline to peace. So I'm going to incline to peace, since you've shown that you would like to do that as well. Let me just say that the reason why I came at it like that was because of the way you came at us. You know what I mean? Of course, you admit that a lot of the things you were saying, you were cursing and using a lot of foul language at us and coming with a lot of negative energy. So what I did is I just took that and I allowed that to motivate me in my responses right back at you. Okay? But again, since you said you're willing to concede and tone it down, then fine, I'm willing to do that. We can agree to disagree, but we can do it in a more level tone. All right? Now, as far as some of the other things that you were talking about, that you have read some things about Islam or whatever the case may be, and if it can't answer your questions, well, look, whatever questions you really got, hey, as you see, I like to bring all the evidence, information. I got a lot of books and information. If there's something I need a question to, hey, ask me. I'll try to help you as best I can. Try to help you come to understanding about that if you really are sincere about getting an answer. All right. The next thing was about when you were talking about the Muslims in in out Midwest somewhere, Somalian Muslims complaining about this and that, and the separation between church and state. Well, let me say this. Look, I'm from New York, and where I come from in New York, do you know that on Jewish holidays, the schools close for Jewish holidays, and we get off, or they used to get off for Jewish holidays? Well, I'm not in school anymore, obviously. I'm saying that they get off. They recognize the Jewish holidays in New York because New York has a large population of Jews. Okay, so I guess it all depends on where you're at. The state may concede to giving whatever particular group some type of passes there. Okay, but again, I have no problem with that. Now, as far as the separation between church and state, that says that the United States government cannot promote any religion. If these wash areas are being given to Muslims in public facilities, then that's permissible. That's allowed for them to do that. It can't be in a government institution, but as far as public facilities, if they allow that, hey, that's I have nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? Now, as far as the traitor thing, you were talking about how you have fought for my freedom to criticize you. With all due respect, you ain't fought for my freedom. No soldiers in the past have fought for my freedom or our grandparents or great-grandparents' freedom. No war in America has been fought for our freedom. That's why I said no war, including the Civil War. None of the wars that they fought, whether it be the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, the War of 1812, the Spanish-American War, the Korean War, World War I, World War II, Vietnam, none of those wars, Gulf War I, Gulf War II, none of those wars were fought for our freedom. Like you said yourself, it's interesting that you admitted that you see that the current war going on is really to help Halliburton and Dynacor and all these other people gain some wealth here, not for us. Okay, so when you actually you fought for them, you ain't never fought for our freedom. You see, because Iraq ain't never tried to threaten my freedom. They didn't have the power to do it. Okay, the Koreans ain't have the power to do it. Vietnam, none of those wars were fought because our freedom was as a threat. The only threats to our freedom are the people who sent you to war. The people who sent you over to Iraq or wherever you've been, those are the people who threatened our freedom. Okay? They've been the threat to our freedom. Okay? Not those people from those other countries. The people who are threatening our freedom have been the people who sent the soldiers over to other countries. Because when they were fighting in World War II against the Germans, right here in America, black people were being treated the same way Jews were being treated in Germany. American government and American system was like the Nazis. Black people had to sit at the back of the bus, drink from the black colored water fountain, had to sit in the colored waiting room, couldn't get service at certain restaurants. Some in the South, they wouldn't allow you to vote and things like that. So how you going to go fight in Germany? Yet right here in America, you're not giving black Americans their same rights. Isn't that hypocritical? Do you know that when they did allow blacks in the military, that blacks had to fight in segregated military companies? How you gonna go fight against Hitler, but meanwhile right here you being racist in your own country against your own citizens? Isn't that hypocrisy? That's why I speak the way I speak about America, because they ain't never done right by us. And I don't care, and I'm not talking about reparations, they just ain't never righted the wrongs that they've done. Like Chuck D said from Public Enemy in his song Black Steel in Hour of Chaos. He said, here is a land that never gave a damn about a brother like me and myself because they never did. You see? And that's exactly the truth. They ain't never gave a damn about us. They use us as pawns. And that's what I was saying about you. That you've been used as a pawn, and you did sound like somebody who was indoctrinated into that military patriotic mind state when you were talking about how I'm ungrateful. What I gotta be grateful for? What do I have to be grateful to these people for? What I got it myself. Okay? What I earned it myself. I ain't got nothing from these damn people, and I don't want nothing from them. Okay? So ungrateful for what? They ain't nothing done for me. They have done nothing. We had to fight for what we got. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, they had to fight for what we got. They never gave us nothing. You see? The United Nations never sent troops to help us. They never sent troops to South Africa to help them against the apartheid. You see? We had to fight for ourselves to get these rights. So why should I be grateful to them? They ain't done a damn thing for us. Okay? So that's why I have the attitude I have about this country. But I speak out because that's what we have to do. We have to speak out in order to make a change. You see, and that's why I called you a traitor. Because you would say, oh, you know, I'm ungrateful, and as if I should keep my mouth shut. Why? Why keep my mouth shut when there's wrong being done? If we keep our mouth shut, then those changes will never get made. If Martin Luther King didn't speak up, Malcolm never spoke up, if Nelson Mandela didn't speak up, the situation would have never have changed. So I speak up because there's something wrong and we got to say something about it. That's the American way. That is the true American way. Okay? But I'm going to say again that I accept your invitation to tone down the discussion. I will do the same thing. I just want to say that the two videos that I made in response to your last response, they were made before I had a chance to see your video. So any comments that I made about you personally, I'm going to say that I apologize for them. So please disregard them, because again, the video was made before I had a chance to see your most recent video about addressing the personal comments. Okay? So again, we can discuss in a more level tone, and that's cool with me. Okay? So peace.